The Eastern Conference in the NBA this season is fascinating because it's all over the place compared to what we expected it would be. I mean, look at the standings. Can anybody actually tell me that they expected the Pistons, the Raptors, and the Heat to be top three? I don't think anyone thought that would happen. And a lot of this is because there are a lot of injured teams in the East that are alongside the bottom feeders of the East. And so it's caused a chain reaction that has made the entire East look different. I mean, look at the Pacers. We would have expected them to be contending again, but without Tyrese and the loss of Miles Turner, they're at the bottom. Look at the Bucks. They were looking at least like a decent playoff team, but with Giannis missing like 7 games, I think they lost almost all 7 games. And with that in mind, it's allowed some kind of middling teams to go on a hot streak like the Raptors and the Heat. And the Pistons have taken a jump to kind of lay out this top 3 that is just something that is really special. Looking at the Pistons, right? On their 13-game win streak, they look unstoppable. Now, obviously, they lost a couple games since then, but nevertheless, Cade and Jalen Duren, I mean, I don't want to speak hyperbolically, but they look like a budget Shaq and Kobe. Obviously, I'm not comparing either of them to Shaq or Kobe, but Cade looks like he's the all-around point guard, that athletic baby Luka that we thought he could be. Jalen Duren, unlike last year where it kind of felt like Drummond rebounds where he was getting the boards, but it wasn't really feeling impactful. He's looking like he's helping Isaiah Stewart anchor that defense. Offensively, he's taking mid-range jumpers, self-created. Jalen Duren? If he's doing that, I mean, wow. And the Pistons, most importantly, with their top 8 in both offensive and defensive rating, that's promising for the playoffs. However, with the fact that they're so young and they don't have that much playoff experience besides the first round exit last year, we'll see how that translates. Moving on to the Raptors, I mean, they're winning by committee alongside their high quality starters, and most importantly, they have pieces for every single thing they need, right? Scottie's defense is unbelievable. I saw at one point he was leading the league in stocks. Brandon Ingram provides the ISO bucket self-shot creation that you need, as seen by that game-winning shot that he had. He can say, give me the rock and get out my way. And then they have a bunch of complementary pieces in their centers, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, Jakob Poeltl when he's healthy. It all just kind of fits well. And then the offensive mind of Darko is just great. I mean, I think he got a degree for basketball, where you have to see all the different aspects, which you can see because his schemes are fantastic. And then most importantly, I mean, they're top 6 in both offensive and defensive rating. The only thing with this is I do not know how this translates to the playoffs. I don't know how this translates 50 games from now. The Raptors might be back down to the 7th seed. I wouldn't be surprised. So it's just a matter of seeing how consistent and stable this is. And in the playoffs, which I think they will make, when the teams kind of dedicate themselves to figuring you out, I don't know if they have the star talent yet to be able to really go on anything besides the first round, but we'll see. I think this is reminiscent of the Kings a few years ago when they were the 2nd seed and they made it to the playoffs and obviously lost to the Warriors. But in the East, I mean, there's less competition, so this could be a sneaky good team. And then finally, the Miami Heat. The defense is carrying them overall, and Norman Powell is helping carry the load of the offense, at least from a shot creation standpoint, with Harrow out and whatnot. I don't think this is translatable to the playoffs. I think this is just classic Erik Spoelstra Heat magic. I mean, they lose Jimmy Butler. You think they're just going to be bottom feeder, and look at that. They're undefeated with figuring out a way to change the offense. They are by far and away the lowest pick and roll driving team. They don't do pick and rolls. What do? They drive to the rim, kick it out, shoot. Their offense, they have the 7 seconds or less Suns. They've kind of revitalized that in the sense of they have the shortest possession time on offense. They just get the ball out and they start shooting. And it's working. I mean, I don't know how the Heat always do it. I guess I do. It's Erik Spoelstra, but I think this is a regular season kind of thing. In fact, it might just be a first half of the season kind of thing. But we can hope. Overall, the playoffs look unpredictable because the projected strong teams are looking flawed. I mean, the New York Knicks look good. They'll always be there. I think they're waiting for the playoffs to really get in gear. But ultimately, it's a scary sight when you're not as good as the year before, right? They just look slightly clunkier, slower. They just don't look as well meshed as last year. The Cleveland Cavaliers, they don't look as good as last year. Evan Mobley had confidence in that first game, and now he just kind of looks like a shell of himself. Donovan Mitchell's doing his thing. Jared Allen, he's nice. Darius Garland is solid, but they just don't look like a well-oiled machine as last year. So ultimately, I think the East is kind of all up. It's a kind of a weird dichotomy because on one hand, the East looks wide open, but on the other hand, I look at all these teams and go, are the Pistons just the best? Or are Cleveland and Knicks just starting slow, but they're just going to spank all these teams in the playoffs? I don't know the answer to that question. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, but I think we are in for a treat with the Eastern Conference, and don't get me started on the Western Conference. Leave a like, subscribe, and thanks for listening.